Hello, friends, and welcome back to The Free Advantage. I'm your host, Heather Davis, and I want to invite you into a new season of real stories, real recovery, and real freedom. This show has always been about self-discovery, authenticity, and recovering a life of freedom. And this year, we are taking that journey together in a deeper way. You're going to hear raw, honest conversations with people walking this path in real time. Stories of growth, healing, purpose, and becoming whole. You'll also hear from me as I reflect on these themes that rise from the stories, answer your questions, and offer small, meaningful takeaways that you can carry back into your week. This is not just a podcast you listen to. It's a place you belong, where you are part of the conversation. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Heather Davis. I hope you guys are all doing well out there and that those of you who are expecting this huge winter storm are well prepared and are staying warm. I know here we have been bundling up, preparing the house, and I have been preparing this episode to get it recorded so I don't lose power or internet and won't be able to get it out. So I hope you guys are ready. I am excited for this week's show. We are doing our Q&A, and I'm going to be answering all of the questions that you have had about this past month's themes and topics. We have been going over Anna's story and exploring all the stuff that has come up from that. We've talked about relapse. We have talked about why we go back to toxic environments and situations. We've discussed self-worth and our willingness. So this week I am ready to jump into all of your questions. So I had quite a few questions that kept coming up, and a lot of them kind of revolved around the same kinds of things. And one of our first questions is that, is there something wrong with me if I know what I should do, but I still can't do it? Is there something wrong with me? I think that we all suffer from those thoughts that there's something wrong with us. The truth is, no, there's nothing wrong with you. We all get ourselves into a place where we want to be doing things and things that we know we should be doing, that even things that we want to be doing, and we just still don't do them. I know that I want to work out and go to the gym, and I really want to do this. I know I feel better when I do it. I know that I sleep better, I eat better, and that it's healthier for me, but I don't do it. It's very difficult for me to get up and go to the gym or to get up, move my body and work out. The same as my sleep. I stay up. I'm a night owl. 4 o'clock rolls around every morning and I'm like, here I am again. And I get super irritated with myself. So it's not just normal things. We do it with our self-growth. We do it with our environments. We do it with setting boundaries. It's a very normal thing. We're human. We don't like the discomfort of change and the discomfort of having to do things out of the norm for ourselves. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing inherently wrong with any of us. I think we feel that way. It can definitely make you feel that way, and we can kind of feel like, why can't I? But you're not alone. You're not alone. I am still find myself feeling that same way about a lot of things in my own life. So no. Our second question is, what if the people I love are the same ones keeping me stuck? That's a big one. I have lived a lot of life with that same exact thing. I don't even know the right word for it, but I have lived a lot of life with this exact idea in my head that I feel stuck by the people around me. And obviously a lot of the people who are around me are my loved ones. They are the people in my life. And as I have grown and moved through a lot of the things in my past and in my own walk, in my own traumas, what I've really come to learn is that no one can keep you stuck. No one. We are never in a place where we do not have the right to make the decisions for ourselves. And if you are in some kind of place, that means that you are probably not in a safe situation. Because we have the abilities to make all of the decisions for ourselves. And when we start going, oh, my loved ones are keeping me stuck, or I can't do this because of them, this turns into what I call a blaming situation, where we start blaming the outside forces for the stuff that's going on with inside of us. The thing is we need to start looking inward instead of outward for why we are in the situation we're in. You know, I was talking with my husband before the show, and I was actually discussing this question, and I was feeling very passionate about it. And there's so many things that we have to get to a place to understanding. Is like we always have this, is always this different kind of conversation. So you have the conversation of like me and them. When I coach a lot of people, when they come to me, the conversation is always, there's always a lot of people in the room with us. It's me, them, and everybody else in their life. And the truth is, when you're sitting in a room with me and we're having those conversations, there are three people. There's me, you, and you. It's the you are having this conversation with, and the you that you're constantly fighting, and the you you're ignoring. And we really need to start having a conversation with ourselves. Instead of asking instead of blaming somebody else for your personal feelings of feeling stuck and lost, we have to look inward and go, okay, what role do I play in this situation? Yes, I feel stuck. And if I feel stuck because of these people, you need to ask yourself, why do I feel stuck because of them? What is it within me that makes me feel stuck by them? No one has the control over you to keep you from making the right choices from yourself. It is your responsibility. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear it, and they don't like it when I'm very direct with them. But the truth is, nobody's keeping you stuck. Your loved ones are not holding you down. And what is happening is that you're in a place where you do not have enough courage to stand up and set boundaries and take responsibility for your own actions and your own decisions. So if you're in that space, which I have been in that space, I have been there. I have been that with my own family, my parents. I've been that way with my brother. I've been that way with my spouse. I have been that way even with my children. So I know what it feels like. And I'm not going to answer these questions and give any suggestions and observations in somebody else's life that I know I have not experienced myself. And the truth is, it's not them. And I encourage you to start looking within. I encourage you to get curious about yourself. And I know that we generally already have some sort of idea of the things that we want to do, the things we want to say, the boundaries we want to set, and we just don't have the courage to do it for fear. Fear that we're going to lose somebody, fear that something bad's going to happen, that we might lose certain relationships. I had all of those fears. But what I learned is that slowly but surely, the more responsibility I took for myself, when I learned to start setting certain boundaries, I didn't lose all the things that I thought I was going to. And in fact, when setting boundaries the right way, it actually made my relationships better. And that takes us to our next question. And it is, how do you set boundaries without feeling selfish or guilty? You don't. The truth is, you don't. When we start setting boundaries in our life, they're not always easy for us to do. Mostly it's why we suffer from boundary issues. So there is a sense of selfishness and a sense of guilt that falls on us when we do that, because we feel like most of us who are not setting boundaries are people pleasers. We're out there trying to do everything for everybody. And I've learned that the reasons why we do that is because, we have low self-worth. And we're thinking the more I do, the more value they will see that I have. And the truth is that is not how it works. And you should know. I know, and I know that if you've done it, you know, because no matter what you do, you never seem to get the outcome you were looking for. So when we start setting those boundaries in place, it feels like it creates a disconnection between us and the other side. We stop doing certain things, or we're like, hey, setting a harder line, and then people don't have as much access, and you feel bad. And some of that comes from within because we're so used to giving of ourselves that it feels wrong to not. And some it is because other people try to make you feel that way because they're not getting what they used to. And they don't understand. So you don't always get to set boundaries without those things. That's part of the adversity that we face when we start doing things for ourselves, when we start trying to heal and work through our traumas and our issues, that we face an adversity within a conflict within ourselves. But the more you do it, the more you realize that you're doing the right things. Now, I wanted to bring up another issue because when I talk about boundaries specifically, we're not just setting boundaries with other people. We have to learn how to set boundaries with ourselves. And this is just like in the last question, we talk about keeping it stuck. We have to look within, because I know that I have had to set a lot of boundaries with myself, not letting myself do specific things when it comes to myself. Like I was talking about earlier, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to go to bed. I don't want to get up and go to work out and things like that. And it comes to your self-care. There's a lot of things you have to learn how to set boundaries with yourself. And when you start learning how to respect your own boundaries with yourself, it makes it a lot easier to have boundaries with other people. And it helps to release some of that selfish feeling and that guilt. So, that's a big one. That's a big one for me because I have lived that life for a very long time, and it can feel very overwhelming, but I know that you can do it. I know that you can do it. If you set out to do it and you're willing to do it in spite of your discomfort and in spite of how risky and dangerous it can feel, you're going to find yourself in a much better place and feeling better in the long run. So, the next question I have is it normal to miss people who hurt you even when you know you're better off without them? Is it normal to miss those who hurt you? It's very normal. It's very normal. Coming from my past, I have had a lot of people that have entered and exited, and a lot of people that I loved and I had to walk away from. And that didn't mean that I don't miss them. Doesn't mean that I don't miss things about them or the things that we used to do together. It's hard. It's hard to walk away from people because you know it's what's best for you. And what's best for us is not always fun. It's not always easy. And it doesn't always feel good. I think we get into this misnomer that when we do what's right for us, then we're going to feel great about it. And the truth is, it's just really not like that sometimes. I mean, most of the time you feel sad, you feel grief. So it's extremely normal to be missing those who have hurt you. I mean, too many times have I walked a path where I've had to let somebody go. And I had to grieve it. I grieved a friend that I lost. I grieved her for almost 15 years. And it was very hard for me to make friends again because of that. And even though she hurt me and things weren't good between us, it didn't matter. Those things, it's still your feelings and your emotions are still your feelings and your emotions. But I do commend you for doing what's best for you. I commend that you had enough courage to walk away from that in spite of how you're feeling sad. So yes, it is normal. And our next question is, what if I don't recognize myself when things finally start to get better? That's an interesting question. I talked about in Anna's story how when things started to get better for her, her life was doing really well. You know, that was the point in which she went back. And I think it's an interesting question that you asked, because when things do start getting better, we're different people. We don't think we're different because we are us. But I remember when I had gone through a lot of change and things were doing really well for me personally. I was coming through a lot of my own personal trauma, and I was looking in the mirror one day and I was like, I don't recognize who this is. Like, who are you? It is you not recognizing yourself is a very normal thing. So it's not something that happens to everybody, but it happens to a lot of us. I know my daughter did not feel that way. I know Anna was very much in a way where she didn't recognize herself. She wasn't comfortable with herself, and she felt a lot like an imposter. Like, maybe I'm just doing these things because this is what somebody told me to do, or maybe, I'm not really doing them because I want to be doing them, or because I've learned, or because I'm healing. Maybe I'm just, she had a lot of questions within herself too about those things. So if you don't recognize yourself, that's okay. My suggestion to you is to get to know your new self. Get to know your new self. You're not an imposter. You're not somebody completely different. Not completely different. You're still there. You're just getting to know the real version of you. The one that doesn't lay down, the one that is courageous, the one that wants more for herself or himself. So if you don't recognize yourself, go to the mirror, take a look, and introduce yourself to you. Welcome to the party. Welcome to this new life, because things are going to be better from here. Things are going to be better from here. I am super excited that you all sent questions in to me and that I was able to answer them for you. It's been a joy getting to learn how to do video and to be able to come on here and speak to you all and being able to interact with you. I really enjoy the questions, and I really hope you guys continue on doing that. We're going to be doing a Q&A every month. We're going to do the last episode of the month will always be a Q&A after our conversations and our reflections. So I am looking forward to more and more of that. And if you want to send in a question, doesn't even have to be related to anything that we've talked about in the last episodes. If you have any kind of life question that you're wanting answered, or you're curious about, or just seeking more on, you're more than welcome. You can go on my website, theriskypath.com, and I have a submit your question at the top of the menu there, and submit away. Submit away, guys. I know I'd mentioned last week that I was one last push away from my website being up, and that has happened. I am very excited to announce that my new website is up. It's the same. You just go to theriskypath.com, but it's a whole new thing. So if you've been there before, go again, because everything's different. I have a new quiz out for everyone, and it is called What's Blocking Your Freedom Quiz. I hope you all go and check it out and take it. It can maybe help you answer a lot of questions about how we live whole, as not as fragmented pieces of ourselves. And it will help show you where you might be blocked. And it's a whole thing. It's a whole exciting thing that I have been working very diligently on. And it has taken a lot. It has taken a lot of me in order to prepare that. So I'm super excited. I will be joining you guys in February next week. I know that I'm going to be having guests on every month, but next week, I'm starting my birthday month. I will be turning 47 at the end of the month, and I'm going to be my own guest for my birthday month. I wasn't sure I was going to do that or not, but I said I was going to be sharing my own story with you as well. And so I'm going to take the month of February and I'm going to be sharing with you a life update, and I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit of my story so you guys can get to know me better. I hope you join me in doing that. I also will be traveling the month of February. I'm going to see my son-in-law graduate boot camp with my daughter. So wish us luck on that. And yeah, I'm so glad you guys joined me. Please be safe if you are in the path of the winter storm, and I will see you guys next week. And you remember, freedom is the advantage you already own. Until next time.